Hello all, I'm Drenaughter, and this is Street Racer for the Sega Megadrive, or Genesis, depending on where you're from. This is a kart racing game, inspired by Mario Kart, obviously. They all were. This was also a game that was released on many platforms. I had the Megadrive version of this, but it also came out for the Sega Saturn, the PlayStation, the Game Boy, the Amiga, and the PC. So it wasn't a difficult game to get hold of. You know, this game was everywhere, but it does seem to have got forgotten about a little bit, which I think is sad, because I've had as much fun with this as I had with Mario Kart back in the day. And it had some party modes in it as well, which were more than a little entertaining, so we'll have a look at those shortly. As you can see, there are... well, you could play up to 4 players if you had a multi-tap, which I don't, and I have no friend, so I'm going to be playing 1 player. You had options, you had fairly extensive options, if I remember rightly. Yep, you could mess around with a lot of it. You could set it to... you could have your weapons on or off, fighting on or off. Fighting and weapons, 2 separate things, because each car has its special weapon or something like unique to it. And then you can also punch people in the face, which all the cars can do, which is, you know, nice. Damage, so yeah, your cars can get messed up, bounced off the track, but you can take a bit of a kicking. Collisions, you can turn them off, although why anybody would turn those off, I don't know. Yeah, so we'll leave those alone, but fairly extensive options. So you've got a fairly deep practice mode, so you can practice in any of the modes that you can see here. Head-to-head, which is multiplayer, basically. The championship, where you unlock trophies and try and unlock the next championships. Varying degrees of difficulty, you know, standard operating kart racing procedure. Rumble is one of the mini-games where you have to just beat the crap out of your opponents. You have to bounce them out. Rumble on paper doesn't sound that interesting because it sounds like you're just going in a circle. To an extent you are, but you're also trying to launch your opponents out of the ring. And to begin with, there's some pillars up the sides, which people can bounce back up, but they can only take so many hits until they disappear entirely, and then you'll just fly off into the ether. So imagine if it's like NASCAR, but not boring. And soccer, which is American for football. I remember that mode being a lot of fun. I can't remember how well it works. Like I said, I haven't played this since I was quite young. I found this and thought, yeah, there are more up-to-date versions of this. There are newer versions of this that came out after, but this is the one I grew up with. This is one I remember. So, and I'm recording it off the Megadrive. This is my original copy. You're seeing right here. I don't like emulations too much. All my recordings are done off original hardware. Apart from, I do have a 60 gig PS3, so I'll record PS1 games and PS2 games off that. More for convenience sake than anything, but it's still a Sony console, so I don't count that as emulating too badly. I paid for them anyway, so I didn't just download them for free. Okay, we'll have a quick look at the championship. Boom. So you can have a custom cup where it's all your own rules, or you start for the bronze, unlock silver, unlock gold, and blah blah blah. I don't think I ever unlocked gold. I think the best me and my mate have managed to do was silver. Because I remember this game being quite difficult, even on easy mode. Or maybe I was just shit because I was a child. Maybe I'll be shit now. We will see. So yeah, you've got a fairly stereotypical roster of characters. Borderline racist at some point. They're all representative of the countries they're from. So the fat sumo wrestler from Japan to the yes, and the Helmut, who's a World War I German fighter pilot, as far as I can tell. So don't mention the war. You started it. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You invaded Poland. And the greasy Italian. I will be Frank. Because he has bat wings and a ghost come out the back of his car, and I can think of no better reason. Oopsie daisy. Right, this is going to take some getting used to. They have just fucked off. Did I start poorly? Is there a boost start? Is it Wipeout style? I have no idea. Again, haven't played this in a very long time. The tracks are quite pretty, the backgrounds are quite nice. I've hit a wall or a brick or a statue of something I can't quite make out. So yes, it's A to punch left, C to punch right, B to go, up to jump, if you need to. What button is that? Y to do your special move, and... oh, there we go. And X to fly. Fly is if you want to cut a corner, basically, or panic if you're fucked up. Or if you can't overtake someone because there's just too many people in your way, just fly away. I don't know what the brake button is. As far as I can tell, it seems to be just take your finger off accelerate. Oh, if up's jump is down. Okay, so down's brake. So down on the D-pad is brake. And I failed horribly. I've now just popped in the head-to-head mode because I got my arse handed to me, and this is where you race one other character on their home turf. So there are as many tracks as there are characters, and each character's got a track that's sort of individual to them and a little bit about them and their country. So you've got Hoja, who's sort of Taj Mahal Indian. Frank, as you can imagine, Transylvania-esque. Sazulu, I think that's how you pronounce that. Yep, Africa. Biff, who lives in the factory district from Sonic 2. Raphael, who's Italy, I assume. Surf Sister, the beach, obviously. That was very predictable. Is that Sydney? That was definitely Sydney Opera House. 2 Sydney Opera Houses. Possibly 3. 3 Sydney Opera Houses. There's a lot of Sydney Opera Houses in Sydney now. They were struggling for tourism. Helmut. Yep, lives on an airbase. And Hoja, the sumo wrestler, who's lives in the future, apparently. God, that doesn't look like an F-Zero track. And in case you were thinking that was quite a lot of tracks for this kind of game, each character has 3 variations. So, although aesthetically the tracks say the same, you have 3 different shaped tracks. So, 3 different tracks in the same zone, area, whatever. It just leads to a lot of tracks. How many is that? Maths, not a strong point. 24, so there's a total of 24 tracks. That's a lot of tracks for a Megadrive game. Ooh, spooky, spooky, spooky. And we are racing against Hoja! I always cock up the start. I think you've got to press go when it's in the green, not in the red, otherwise you just wheel spin. Yeah, so you don't need to brake as much as you need to just release accelerate at certain points. And try not to press up on the D-pad, which I will repeatedly do because I'm a moron. Come back, Mushroom Man. Ah, okay, there are things placed around the tracks, and there are a lot of them. You've got these bombs that you need to pass on, so you'll recognise that from somewhere. Well, before they explode, I'm not going to make it. You get those little explosions that are just insta-explosions. There is no countdown to those. Just don't hit them. Son of a... Right. There are stars, which award you boost, which I don't know how to use yet. I'll figure that out later. Oh no, sorry, there are little forward arrows that award you boost. Every lap, you get a little bit of health back if you've lost any, and a turbo that I've not figured out how to... Fuck you and your gravestones. That I've not figured out how to use yet. Little spanners, you'll notice, they heal your health. That red bar right at the top there, that's your health bar. If that goes all the way down, I think you can explode. I don't know if that's permanent. I've never actually managed it. Like, it's really hard to knock that all the way down. I don't know if you're out of the race forever or if it just puts you out for a little bit and sets you back. But every time you go around a lap, it gives you a little bit more health back, and you can pick up health items while you're going around the track. So it gives you plenty of chance, so maybe it does just kill you. We'll have to find that out at some point. Fuck. We are now on Hoja's track. I've just gone on practice mode, or practice race, a little bit, because I can't for the life of me figure out how to boost. I was doing it yesterday, but I was also very drunk yesterday, so I don't remember what I did. You will accidentally jump a lot. It can get frustrating, because sometimes you'll accidentally jump over things you really, really want. Other times, you'll accidentally jump over things you really, really don't, so it's, you know, one hand giveth, the other hand taketh away. It's also handy to be able to jump over the stuff you really don't want, because there are a lot of bombs laid around these tracks, and they can get fairly irritating, especially when you're in first and you've got no one to pass them on to. We've learned, yep, there's significantly less wheel spin if you don't boost, if you don't press go until the very last minute. I've left them in the dust. Out of my way, peasants. Yeah, so we're in the Africa now. We're on Sazulu? I've forgotten his name. Sazulu's third track. I don't know if it was different in any of the other versions of this game, but I don't think there's any ups and downs. I think it's all done using sort of a Super Nintendo's Mode 7 style format, so it's all on a flat surface, using 2D images to create a 3D effect. So I think it's all on a flat plane. But that being said, even though the tracks themselves are very... I'm going to explode! Oh, the suspense. Even though the tracks themselves are quite two-dimensional, they're not boring. But even though they are just a series of lefts and rights, there's some fairly decent track design. Don't boost in corners, kids. So that was a little bit of a racing. I will show you the Rumble mode now. One of the two sort of party modes, I suppose you call them. Easier here. We'll go with easy because I think Hard Rumble's like 10 times as long. We will change characters because we don't just want to use Frank. We will use the greasy Italian-looking fella. Yeah, so as you can see, you've got these things around the outside of the ring that you will bounce off to begin with, but they can only be hit so many times, and then a hole forms of which you can fall through. The closer you are to the outside of the ring, the faster you'll go, but the more in danger you'll be. If you slow right down to the middle, you can play it fairly safe. You can play it fairly safe. But if anyone hits you on that side and you're playing it too safe and you're down here, you will bounce off right to the outside, and then they will end you. So you've got to be careful. It's the whole thing is risk reward, and it's just one big loop-de-loop, of which I appear to have lost everyone. Come on, there we go. So you can use your special, which will just launch people out a lot further than punching, but punching is free and doesn't have to recharge. There is a little map in the top corner there that looks like peas rolling around a plate. It's fairly accurate, actually. Surprisingly. Got one! I think. Did I? Or did I just bounce him? No, he's still alive. Damn it. Got one! Suzuru is out. So, yeah, you only get one life in this. When you're knocked out, you're knocked out. It's last man standing. In single player, this gets fairly... Come on. Oh, you lucky bastards. In single player, this gets... You know, you can get fairly into this. In multiplayer, you get very into this. Outright aggressive. Like this mode has ended friendships. Especially in 4-player, which I've only played a couple of times because I didn't own a multi-tap back in the day. I still don't, actually, I don't think. Sorry, I've lost them. So, yeah, you can just sneak down to the middle now. Wait for them all to come back around and then... Waha! What do you do, fatty? Hey. Oh. Fail. So, yeah, or you can go down here and wait for them all to catch up with you. Or you can speed around the outside and catch up with them yourself. Again, as long as you're anywhere near the outside, you run the risk of... Oh, he committed suicide as far as I can tell. You run the risk of... falling off, but too close to the middle, and you run the risk of whee! Oh shit! Yeah, so this is sort of the safest place to be, but it's a bit of a non-place to be because you're no threat to anyone either. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna wait. Predator-like. Now pounce like a panther. Oh, fail. Biff! A biff! Win. Punch him! Punch his face off! Oh, punch her face off! All their faces are staying on. Not fair. And then there were two. Horns! Got just the Italians and the Germans. Historically, this doesn't end well for me. Go on. Oh, damn it. And horns! Oh, he didn't go out the track, but he did orbit for a while. Punch his face off. Got him. Win. Ooh. I got way too excited there. Right, continue, playback. Yeah, we have a replay. That's me doing what I did. I find that very strange in a Megadrive game. I can't really remember this in anything else in this generation. I mean, you didn't get a great deal of this when PlayStation 1 first came about, so to have this in a Megadrive was a little bit crazy, and at the time, brilliant. Like, I remember watching things over and over again because I couldn't do it in anything else. There wasn't even many fighting games that replayed like the last whole round. I mean, there were fighting games that you could replay the last couple of hits, or they automatically replayed the last couple of hits and then just skipped on to the next round. But nothing like this. So in a way, ahead of its time, and in a way, quite behind its time, because I think around the same time this came out, Wipeout came out, so a little bit of a difference. But these were just fun karting games. Now I will show you the soccer mode, which is football with cars. Yeah, so we'll do a goal match, because why not? So you have an outdoor pitch, an indoor pitch, and an ice pitch. Ice pitch sounds like fun. That does sound like fun. I mean, how hard can an ice pitch actually be? I was confident, and naive. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Right, I've gone for a normal pitch because just no to ice. And go on. I'm playing as Biff because he sounds like someone that should be good at football. Hit him. Oh, Biff's got a baseball bat. Was that me? That was me. I don't know how that was me, but that was me. Where's he gone? This is odd because it doesn't actually change. Yeah, go on. Go! The most excited I've got about football ever. Mine? Oh, it's mine. Come back here. I will biff you. I will biff you in your face. Making my own car noises because the car noises in the game not great. Yeah, I just sort of drove that into the goal. Counted though. Jump and catch. Fail. Yeah, the fact that you can't see the whole pitch, that it's not from the... Nope, this will be mine. Yes! Is a little odd. But you get used to it. And there's a map on the left that shows you exactly where everything is. So even if something's down the pitch and you're up the pitch, and obviously it won't show you behind your car, you can still tell where you are relative to said football. And it's not bad at all. I enjoyed that. So yeah, that was Street Racer. Like I said, there are many versions of this, but I prefer this one because I have nostalgia goggles on. But that's just me. Apparently the Super Nintendo version was pretty good with this as well. I assume it's got some sort of internal memory in the Megadrive, because not only does it record playback for a little bit, it also seems to be using Mode 7, which is something Megadrive historically didn't have. Until the Mega CD, which nobody bought. So yeah, if you're a fan of silly little kart racer games, then this is probably one to pick up. It's a lot of fun, especially in the 4-player mode. So, you know, if you're going to be doing something like that, then maybe pick up the PlayStation 1 version, because you can play it on your PlayStation 3, and it'd be much easier to play 4-player that way, because wireless controllers and such. And you can pick this up fairly cheap because of how many different things it was available for and how popular it was at the time. There was a lot of copies. There's a lot of copies knocking about. So if you don't already have this, get this. If you're on a Mega Drive, get this. If you don't, then you can probably find it for something else. But if you happen to have an old Mega Drive and a multi-tap and 3 friends that don't mind sitting in the same room as you, then I'd recommend picking this up. I've had as much fun with this as I had with Bomberman as a child, as far as screaming at each other in the telly goes, and, you know, learning how to really enunciate your swear words from a young age. These games help fantastically with that. It was produced by Ubisoft and developed by a company called Vivid Image that I don't think are around anymore. They were established in 1988, I know that, and they didn't release a great deal. This was one of the few games of note, I think, that they actually released, but it's very of note. If you've liked what you've seen, thought this looked fun, then pick this up, and as usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Dren Plays, where Dren will play something. Yeah. Now I know how Bambi felt. Screw this.